Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. So we're still waiting for Carl Watkins. I love you, but we are still waiting for Shawn Watkins, but that's okay because we all know this happens sometimes. Annie, you have taught me this. You have taught me how to handle this because I watch you handle this. So anyway, I just want to say happy Tuesday. Yes, it did snow last night, but it's not that bad. Yes, I do have a turtleneck on though because it's cold. It's Denver, right? This is just what happens. So anyway, I'm glad that all of you are here today. And I really just want to start saying hi to people as they come in to watch this broadcast today. It's going to be wonderful, super excited, and I just want to see everybody. So just let me know what's going on today, right? Might even get Tim in here pretty soon. He might want to come on. You never know. Oh, we're not sure about Tim, but we will see. You'll see what happens with Tim. So anyway, I would love to tell you a little bit about Shawn Watkins. Now, Carl, if you were here, I wouldn't screw up your name, right? I've been on Carl's show a couple of months ago, and he's a wonderful gentleman. And I just want to talk about him a little bit because he started a consulting business since I was on with him last time. And it's a consulting firm, services firm. And he has come from an abusive, addiction, depression, survivor mode. He is a complete survivor. He's very successful with what he's doing right now. He's also an aspiring, you know I was going to say it that way, aspiring civil rights attorney, which that is amazing in itself. A keynote speaker, faith-based coach, and a mentor. He's kind of like a mentor to me, to be honest with you. So what he's doing right now is mentoring, coaching men through vulnerability and become greater men, leaders, husbands, and fathers. So I just wanted him to speak to you guys today about what we're going to talk about, the post-pandemic era that we're going into right now, the pre-post-pandemic era. So I know a lot of people are living in, I even put up an article about this a couple weeks ago, and I had somebody interview me about this today, about imposter syndrome. And we were going to talk about that today because it's very, very important because people are going back to work. There's still a lot of fear about should you be going back to work? Should your kids be going back to school? Things like that. So I just think it's important that we discuss this stuff today. And you guys can chime in if you want, or if you don't want. I don't totally understand if you feel comfortable or not comfortable talking about things like this. So please post some questions to me about this. And, oh, I think here comes Tim. Is Tim going to come and save the day? He might. Right? But yeah, so Tim's kids have gone back to school, and he might have a couple of things to say about that. Because I know there are people across the country. I know Denver has kids back in school. I think some counties, you can decide whether or not you want to send your kids back. You can homeschool still, things like that. So anyway, I might need to take some of my own CBD oil to make it through this, right? Well, I will tell you that I just got back Sunday for my first big outing, and it was only for about 45 minutes, but I did go to a huge convention hall, and I saw the owner of Solar. I told him, this is my favorite CBD oil, the Calm oil, so I might need to take some of that. I'm just kidding. I don't take it all the time, but I take it often, especially in situations like this. And last time I had Carl on, he might be having his own PTSD, thinking about whether or not I'm going to take the cat oil by accident again, which I brought on because the cat oil has become quite the success because of my mistake of taking that. So that was fun. So that was fun in itself. But it does taste really fishy, just so you know. So I would just love to chat with some of you and just tell me what's going on in your world right now. Are the mask mandates coming up in your city? Are they still requiring masks or not? Things are really changing here. Things are changing here pretty quickly. I'm still pretty much housebound just because of my autoimmune diseases. I don't know if I feel comfortable being out there, but I'm trying. It's got to be safer to be out there than to be in a doctor's office, right? That's usually where I am half the time. So anyway, I do have another guest coming on Friday who actually had a stroke, and he's done a great job of healing himself from mind, body, soul connection, and changing diet, changing how he exercises, if he exercises a lot now, things like that. So it'll be great to log in and see him on Friday. He's a friend of mine. He lives in Oregon. And actually, a really quick background on him, he actually had a stroke while he was in a convention in Southern California, and he lives in Oregon. So he had to stay in the hospital until he can get okay to get down there. So yes, until I can get on a plane to get back home. So he has a very interesting story. He's written a book. This happened, I think, a year or two ago, and he's already written a book, which is wonderful. Hey, Robert, how are you? Thanks for logging in. It's great to have you on today. Maybe we should bring Robert on. But that'd be funny. So yeah, I'm very excited to have my friend on Friday too. But I'm still waiting for Carl because we all love Carl. We love Carl. And he actually has something going on right now too. He has his own going live with broadcasts and things like that. Not teaching you, I don't think, how to do that, but how to plan a calendar and things like that. But Tim, we're waiting for, he actually has his Survive. I'm just going to call it Survive class because I survived it, and that's why I'm here by myself, because I somewhat know how to handle that by myself. But I would love for him to be on. We all love for him to be on. I mean, come on, you guys. He's like not the Rev, but the Rev. He is. He's great. And actually, I want to tell you a story about him, because if you look at his new website, it's called carlshawnsdaily.com. And there's a little video about his story about authenticity. And his father used to tell him, people know, they know if you're authentic or not. You don't need to go around and tell people, hey, everybody, I'm authentic. If people don't think you're authentic, you have to tell them that you're authentic. Like, that's not cool. That is not cool. If you are that insecure, you need to tell people that. The story that he tells in this video is that his father used to tell him, the lion that's out there in the desert or wherever doesn't have to go up to the birds and to the giraffe and to the cheetah and everything else, say, hey, I'm authentic, because he shows that he's authentic. The lion is kind of like this, right? He's kind of like, oh, you know what? I'm okay. I'm authentic. I'm showing how I'm authentic because I'm taking care of people. Well, I don't know if the lions do that because they might want to eat you. I'm just saying. But the lion might want to eat you. But the thing with a lion is that he's protecting everybody, or he's trying to protect everybody, and he's trying to be authentic and show his true self. So I didn't tell the story that well. You guys could tell the story a lot better than I can, but I would say watch the video. Carl is one of the most precious people that I know, and I really did take the cat oil when I was on his show. So not gonna lie about that. You can just watch it if you want to, because it's pretty funny. So I just wanted to say, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And hey, Lynn, hi, how are you? Maybe Lynn wants to come on. Lynn's actually going to be on in, how many Fridays, Lynn? 2? 3. About 3 weeks. I love Lynn Delgado. She is amazing. And actually we met because she's had a TBI, a traumatic brain injury. And we had a lot in common, believe it or not. Just because I only have Lyme disease doesn't mean that I don't have brain injury from the Lyme, from other of the 50 autoimmune diseases that I have. So we actually have connected really well. And she'll talk to us about, so guess what, then? You can actually write in the comments again if we're not going to talk about this, but we can. She's going to be talking about diet, exercise, mind, keeping your mind straight, and how your mind, shifting your energy in your mind and in your body and your breathing can actually help you heal. She has completely 100% healed yourself. You healed herself. And I'm going to make her laugh right now because guess what I had for Carl? I was going to ask him the big question. Do you like bacon? But I think Carl found out about the bacon question and decided not to show up. Maybe he's scared of bacon. Come on, you guys, let's all text him and say, are you scared of bacon? Is that why you're not here today? He could be, or maybe not. But he might be scared of bacon. That would make me really sad if he's scared of bacon. Lynn loves bacon. So Lynn, by the way, when she woke up, and she'll tell you guys a story, when she woke up from her surgery, because this pull down, what's it called, a pull down bar, actually like came down on her head and smashed, or like this way, smashed her entire spine down. So she had, finally, they figured out what was wrong with her. And they actually had this pretty serious surgery after she went to see all these doctors and they couldn't figure out what's going on. Sounds familiar, right? So anyway, so what happened was when she woke up from the surgery, a couple things happened. She didn't know where she was, ended up walking out. I don't know how you walked, by the way, Lynn, after your surgery. I always thought about that. So I was curious about that. But she woke up, you guys. All right, something you have to know about Lynn. Total vegan. Total work. She was previously a workaholic. She is now too. But I mean, the industry that she's in is very, very stressful. Probably hit, Lynn, did you hit the glass ceiling? Pretty much the industry that she was in. I mean, she didn't hit the glass ceiling, but everybody knew who she was in that industry. And not just that, she woke up from that surgery. She asked for a steak. She asked for ice cream. Later on, she asked for bacon. That's what the joke is about the bacon. She asked for bacon. Well, that was a couple of weeks later, I believe. But the steak. She didn't eat steak. She didn't eat ice cream. I think today, though, Lynn, is it correct that you like ice cream? Maybe not. Maybe not. I asked her if I could have the new vegan ice cream. She said, absolutely not, from Ben & Jerry's. Hashtag Ben & Jerry's. Yes, I did just use your name. So anyway, I'm excited to be here with you guys. And I'm sure that Robert, is absolutely wanting to get on right now. Are you dying to get on, Robert? Just say yes or no. Because I can bring in right now, as long as you're not hanging out with a moose. Would you like to come on, Robert? No answer. No answer. Well, we will reschedule Carl, though, because I'm sure he would love to come on again. But see, if I ask Robert to come on, then he might be outside, which would be fun. I really just want to start saying. Nope, don't want that. I was just trying to see if he had logged in this way. So, super fun. Oh, Robert needs a shower. Robert, you're so funny. So Robert needs a shower. Oh, Tim's hilarious. Shout out to the moose. Shout out to Robert, who needs a shower. I've never heard you say that before. Oh, did you say, oh no, you don't want to come on because you need a shower? Huh? Oh, Linda said, that's what my gut. But my gut didn't like the ice cream. I should eat some bacon ice cream. You've mentioned that before, that you think somebody should make bacon ice cream. And then a couple people said, well, they thought that Ben & Jerry's made bacon ice cream. Hashtag Ben & Jerry's again. Do you make ice cream with bacon? Not just the flavoring, but the bacon pieces. Then maybe we should make that. Yeah, maybe we should. So, well, I do really enjoy everybody here. And I really, really, really appreciate you guys all staying on with me. So just stay warm, because I'm sure the snow is coming your way. But we woke up, it was like when my caregiver left, it was dumping, and his car was completely covered. And then when he got here this morning, no snow. That's Colorado right there. That's right. That is totally right. Hey, Tim, if somebody can get Ben & Jerry's to like sponsor my post, or not my post, but my podcast, not podcast, that would be you, right? Oh, caramelized bacon. Oh my gosh. Lynn, we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to eat caramelized bacon. 75 and sunny here. Lynn's reminding me that she's my best friend, not best friend. Right, Lynn? And here's Robert. Oh, I live in Alaska, but there's no snow. Oh, it's coming. Actually, ours probably came from you, but you didn't get the snow. Or, oh, I don't know where everybody else is from Toronto, but this may be coming to you guys, but I'm not hoping. Not hoping that it does. Lynn, you're a stinker. Oh, that's a really good question, actually. What's your favorite Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor? Everybody? Why don't you put in the Carl Sullivan should not be in bed right now. He might be washing his beard. He could be. And he's a wonderful man. You guys should really, really like his YouTube page. And Cherry Garcia? No. I like the fish food. I do like the fish food. What about you guys? What's your favorite flavor? Oh, just trying to get here to get the... It's kind of funny because sometimes you try to hit the little things everybody could be on there, but they can't because I can't find the thing. Oh, the half-baked one? Of course you like that, Robert. Oh, you guys, so this morning I had a veteran who actually asked me to be on his radio show. He actually has a podcast radio show. And what's interesting about that is he wanted me to talk about CBD and the pandemic and things like that. And Lynn and Jenny's caramelized bacon. You know what? That could actually be a winner. But what we were talking about, just in case if I have any questions about this, he was asking why the VA won't let, or the veterans are not allowed to have CBD. And what's really sad about that is that they're the ones that really need it. And I, unfortunately, was explaining that it's not just the VA hospitals or the doctors. It's coming more from the top. It's coming more from the government and from pharmaceuticals and things like that, because they're going to lose a lot of people. Yeah, so it's that's kind of sad. The big pharma is getting in the way. A lot of people being able to take pharmaceutical drugs. So they're not getting away of pharmaceuticals. They're getting away of CBD and more natural things. So yeah. Oh, Dorothy's going to come on. Let's see her. Dorothy is awesome if you guys haven't met her. She was in my class with Tim. Hey, Tim, will you please put up your classes starts? He just moved it 2 more weeks. So we would love for you guys to be on the class. It's a wonderful class. You can learn what I'm doing. And he'll probably teach people better what to do when people don't show up. But it's okay. And I was serious about Annie Lieb. She's had to do this a couple of times when I've seen her do this. And she covers really well. She covers really well for people. So I adore her, by the way. She's wonderful. So let's see, where is Dorothy? Thank you, Tim. Oh, May 24th. May 24th, risewithlive.com/courses. So everybody should take a look at that. He does have different pricing. And hopefully you guys can all, oh, here comes Robert. Robert, are you going to get me kicked out of StreamYard? No, I'm just kidding. It's all about, what did you say? Oh, come on, too. Hey, there you are. And here comes Dorothy. Dorothy!
Hey!
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. I was just shutting my curtains a bit, so the lighting's better.
My Canadian friend, a bit. But
Yeah.
Carl Sullivan isn't on here yet, because then we could have him talking, English accent too. You're just like, well, you're just an American accent. Huh? Right? Well,
yeah.
Let's see here. Tim is promoting. I asked him to promote his course. And I said, maybe Tim will teach all of us how to handle when your guest doesn't show up.
Well, that's why we build a community. So when somebody can go, hey, I need you.
I just saw that you did a podcast this morning, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was just telling them I was on a radio podcast this morning. Mm-hmm. And I thought, what am I going to do? I'm going to be so tired by this one. I'm like, no, I'm not, because I must have to be on your feet all the time. Right?
Yeah. And anybody who really wants to get into a course to learn more about live streaming, definitely contact Tim, Shawn, because it's an amazing course. And you won't be disappointed, because we're both graduates, and I learned a ton in that class.
But Dorothy, what you missed, number one, because I wanted you to hear this before, it snowed last night.
No way.
But then it was gone. Like, all of a sudden it was gone. You're like, okay. But
better you than me, honey.
What'd you say?
Better you than me. And I'm in Canada.
That way. It's heading towards you. That's what I was saying. I hope you guys
keep it. I don't want it.
And the Canadian geese. And the geese. Crazy. The Canadian geese. They come down here and they don't leave. They don't leave. I'm like, go back north. They're like, no, I don't think so.
Well, we have a riverfront, and at the riverfront, there's geese there. So you have to walk through geese poop to go for your walk. And it's very annoying. Very annoying.
It's like that here too. So what was the bye, Len, thank you for coming. So which type of goose was it that you had in your backyard?
Probably the Canadian goose.
No, it had like a orange bill or something.
Oh, I don't know.
You said it had to come really far. So you took a picture and you put it up the other day.
Okay, but my husband was in the backyard, and he heard a bird, and he has better hearing than I do, because I have double hearing aids. Mm-hmm. So he's got the hearing of a saint. So he went to the back fence, and it's our neighbor's pet.
So is it white with like a orange bill?
Yeah, I honestly. Do I have I have a picture.
Robert had just told me that kind of bird that they have it up in Alaska, actually.
Oh.
And then you took a picture. Yeah, then you took a picture of it in your backyard. I was like, Robert, was it the same? Is that the same bird? I don't know. He said it has like an orange bill and stuff.
I don't know. It was gone.
A grouse or something.
Yeah, it was gone after a little while. Actually, a friend of mine had commented and said, "Oh, it's definitely a domestic." So, and then it was gone. Well, last year it was a groundhog, and my husband was going crazy. It was like Caddyshack around here. I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Caddyshack. If you haven't, you gotta watch it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he bought bombs and everything. I said, "You realize you have to bury the bombs before you set them off?" And he's just like, no way. I'm like, well, how are you going to do that underneath the shed? Like, you're not going to catch the shed on fire. So don't even bother putting them together.
So, Mallard was here? I didn't know they had Mallard ducks up there. You know what? He's just making us jealous of his stuff. Well, no, he has the pillow. You have the mug, right? I have the sweatshirt.
I got the mug.
But who's the stuffed one, though? Somebody has, yours is, that's very nice. It's big.
It's big. Yes. Mm-hmm. I love it. And then I got another gift today in the mail. Yeah. I was just like, I was trying to listen to some life coaching stuff, and so I can get more ideas. And then between my stepson and the door going, it was crazy. And it was a selfie stick.
Massage?
So when I go to do a selfie stick.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
that's great.
I was just like, well, that's amazing. Now I can do my lives and walk around and not make everybody sick.
Yeah, I know. Oh, did you see what Tim wrote? Welcome to the Goose Not Goose show. I thought Robert just wrote pillow not pillow, but
as long as you don't get goosed.
I know. Well, there's nobody back here. Is there anybody over there?
It's a possibility my stepson can come in at any time. I told him, unless it's an emergency, to stay out. But
all right, so I'm going to ask you the question of the hour. I ask everybody I'm interviewing. I know this wasn't a formal interview, so we'll do this later, and we'll put up a little box for you, and I'll be like, tell me more, and I want you to tell everybody about your book too. Do you like bacon? But do you like bacon?
I love bacon, but I don't eat a lot of it because it's too many calories.
Yeah. See, there you go. And I told you before, I think you heard the story about Lynn, who woke up after her TBA surgery, her traumatic brain injury, and they had to do surgery on her back because her whole spine was smashed, right? Mm-hmm. She's a vegan. She's 100% vegan. She woke up and said, I'd like some steak and some ice cream, please. And then a couple of weeks later, she's like, and some bacon. I want some bacon now. They're like, you don't eat bacon. You don't eat steak. You don't, but I want all that. So that was the big joke with the bacon. And now it's just turned into everything.
Is that fake bacon? Because I've seen you have a slice of bacon up every time.
That's because my caregiver brings like a whole big like glass container of it. He makes it at home, or he was making it here, and I'm like, my apartment's really small, and my bed smells like bacon, like everything. Can you just please close all the doors and make the bed first, and then make the bacon if you're going to do it here?
Okay, so I'm not the only one. I absolutely hate the smell of the grease from the bacon. And my stepson loves bacon, and I could cook a pound just for him, and he would eat it if I let him, which I don't, obviously. But the stench of the grease is like embedded everywhere, and I can't stand it. So I've been, once in a while, I'll just cook it in the microwave because it's less smelly and less greasy.
Then you open the door from the microwave, and you're like, ooh. You're like, okay, now my hair really smells like bacon too. Great.
I know. I can't.
So you sleep with it. You're like, okay, that's great. So I have bacon here.
Could be worse. It could be cigarette smoke there.
It could. Oh, it could be. Yes, that is completely true. Hey, before we finish here, because I have a half-hour show.
Oh.
And we're almost done. But I really, really, really appreciate you coming on, Dorothy. Will you please tell everybody about your book quickly and where they can buy it? So this is going to be like your 30-second.
My 30 seconds of fame?
Elevator speech.
Elevator speech. So in the comments, I put the links where they can purchase it. So my book is called The Overcomer, Facing Challenges with Faith and Courage, which could be purchased on Amazon. And I share my life story of how I have overcome being bullied, low self-esteem, abusive relationships, both professionally and personally, and definitely family trauma and tragedies. And I basically tell all, and it's very real and raw. And I've had some people that have read the book tell me, hey, it feels like I was just right there with you. So it's definitely a story of hope, inspiration, and to never give up, because you are just so close from your next dream, right? And just so close to having everything come together in life for you. So if you've ever had to overcome any of those things, I'm here for you. An amazing read, and it's short, so it's not like it take you forever to read. And you can find it on Amazon. And I did in the chat post the link. That's
wonderful. Thank you. So thank you so much for coming on. I thought I was doing okay by myself. Then I was like, maybe not. Because I'm a chitty chatty one, as you know. And I was like, I can come up with a million things in my head, but maybe not 1,000,001. So, right? But we didn't learn that.
I'm sure you were doing great. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the first part of it because I was in the middle of listening to another podcast. But
sorry, whoever that was. But I just told her.
Say out. Mr. Timon is out. Out, about, house.
Out. Oh. See, I get I sound like I'm from the Midwest. She gets a Canadian, but I get that. So you're in Windsor, Canada, right?
Yes.
We used to go there to drink in college.
Ooh. Which bar did you go to?
Which bar? I don't even know. Like went over, like our sorority like I just remember we had a bus that we took over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we took it over there. That was a different time because we went on the booze cruise type of thing in Detroit. And they'd be like, oh, there's Windsor. We're like, hey, Canada, we're actually able to drink over there, but not here, but we are.
Exactly. So then all the underagers in Detroit come over to Windsor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Make sure you get a hotel room for the night, though. Don't be dumb and drive back. Spend the night here in Windsor because it's cheaper anyways. Our dollar's a heck of a lot lower than yours. So
it used to be 2-1 over there. Not anymore though.
No. And now you're not going to find a bar open at all because we're still in lockdown. So we'll just fly to Florida and we'll have a party in Florida.
Well, of course, today they said on ABC News, they're like, oh, they just found 1,000 new strains of COVID in Florida. I'm like, okay. I feel about that. We should have Marianne come on right now too. Be like, oh no. There's no Team Cafe. Team T.
Team T.
Team T.
Hello, Carl.
Hey, Carl. But Carl's not here. Carl's here.
Well, when you said Team T, I thought it was Carl. Carl was
no, because that's what we'd say. But see, Tim always says this to me. He's like, "Oh, Team Cafe," and I'm like, "No." I can pull out my CBD coffee and be like, "How about this?" I'm having a whole show on water because of him.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So anyway,
I had too much coffee this morning and then I didn't feel good. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it looks like you had a really wonderful Mother's Day. Hopefully.
I did.
I didn't hear the end of that story that you were talking about, I think, yesterday or the day before. Was it yesterday on Annie's show? Or no? You were talking on somebody's show about that, I thought. No?
I don't remember. Well, I was on my own show on Monday night with Reggie, and
it was that. Sorry, it was Reggie.
I can't remember what I said. Sorry. When I say something, it's gone.
I know you're kind of like. We can start talking about it. Oh, Duncan, Tim, the highest caffeine. I've got to get him on Thrive. If he takes Thrive,
I get that.
You literally stop. You stop running coffee and sodas and things like that. What would you do, Tim? like, I don't know. I would not know what to do. Anyway, so I do appreciate you being here. We're at 34 minutes, and I'm not going to go way too long.
No.
Because I did that before.
Having me.
I'm so glad you came on, and we will do this again. And we're going to talk all about your podcast and all about your goals and aspirations. Other than and you could say you want to be on Oprah. My mom always said my Lyme disease would get me on Oprah, but now it's kind of a drug, not a drug, but illness that a lot of people have.
Oprah's my hero. It's one of my bucket lists to meet her and to, just share my heart. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
ooh, Robert.
Oh, Robert. Robert always has some interesting ones, right? We all do. But anyway, so I hope that you can watch my show on Friday. Dorothy, and it's my friend actually that had a stroke about, I think, 1.5 years, 2 years ago. He was actually speaking at a conference in Southern California, lives in Oregon, and had to stay in Southern California for a little bit. But now he's healing himself. I mean, he had to obviously take things. They said he would never be able to use I think it was his left arm or his right arm again. And it's working. He's actually healed. So my big thing, he's an overcomer just like you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of overcomers out there. We just need to showcase them.
Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm glad you're on today. So, and actually, he wouldn't use that.
I even have the T-shirt. Did you see my T-shirt when I stood up? Look at this. Oops.
No.
The Overcomer. Look at that.
It's awesome.
I had it made.
You're like, I had it made.
I did. I have a friend that makes shirts. And well, my husband works with somebody. So this is the one that I had one of them make. And I just love it. Yeah.
It's great.
So,
yeah.
Thank you.
That's great. Yeah. So the guy on Friday, he sent something. He said, The Overcomer. I'm like, yeah, you can't name the show The Overcomer. That's my friend's show name. He's like, oh. So his is called Stroke of Imagination. Because his company's called Imagination IQ. And he had that. You remember how we were talking about one time? I'm going to keep this going. I have a feeling. Remember you were talking about one time how, and I think a whole bunch of us were, that our companies, some of the company names or that we're coming up with, actually like the Overcomer, was your wife going down that path already? And is that why you've written the book on overcoming and you're bringing people on to talk to them about different issues where people have overcome?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say that God gave me the title of the book. Mm-hmm. And then it just seems like everything. So I've used the Overcomer for branding for a lot of different stuff, for pretty much everything that I'm doing, because it just flows. And I don't know if anybody has ever watched the YouTube video with Mendiza and the Overcomer. She has a song called The Overcomer. Mm-hmm. And every time I watch the video, I am in tears because she has Robin off the Today Show, like when she's going through her chemo and that, and Scott Hamilton was just brought into that video as well, because he wasn't there before. So every time I see that, I start to cry, because it reminds me of my dad, obviously, because I was there for my dad's first chemo treatment, and then I wasn't allowed in after that. But yeah, I mean, I wish I could have that somehow as the theme on my, like the theme song on my show, but I'm sure with all regulations, Facebook would kick it off. So
we absolutely, I was like, she did not just put Justin's song on there. And I'm like, I would have put Justin's song on there. And I was like, that was the first thing I wanted to do. That was the first song. And I actually talked to Carl Watkins Guy about how he's being able to play all those songs. And he was actually going to look into that for me. And I thought, you know what? Last thing I need is issues with that right now. So, yeah. So sometimes we just can't. We learn that we can't do what we want to do.
Exactly.
We want to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, no, I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of what you're doing. I am.
Thank you.
And you have a great podcast. Oh, by the way, are you going to be on Carl's show, or is he going to be on yours? He's going to be on yours, right?
Carl's going to be on my show next Monday night, but I'm changing my show time just this Monday night to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, because I am being showcased on Reggie Waterman's show at 7:00 next Monday for my book, The Overcomer: Facing Challenges with Faith and Courage.
I watched that whole interview yesterday. It was wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you. Reggie, and you know what? Okay, so I even shared this with Reggie. I was nervous all day long.
Yeah.
Because, okay, it's Reggie Waterman, guys. It's Reggie Waterman. And yes, he's just like any other guy. But for me, I really look up to him because he does a lot. And I love all my American friends and family that I've just made friends. And I think of you guys as family. But to have a Canadian on my show, like, that was just like something sweet, because he knows what I'm going through, like the complete lockdown and not being able to see anybody. And it was just really nice. But it's like Reggie Waterman. And I even have Reggie's cell phone number, guys.
You're like, he's cute too. He's very cute.
Well, there is that, but I can't say that because I'm married.
I know. You're like, I can say that because I'm not married. But he already knows. I was like, I know Rachel said that she wanted to be your Mrs. Obama, but I can be your Mrs. Obama too. He's Jenny.
I wanted to ask him that question yesterday, and I took a note. I wanted to say, hey, are you and Raquel really dating? But
and I'm like, are you playing that music for her? But really, come on. No, seriously.
Yeah. I should have asked him, because after the show we talked a little bit, and I was going to ask him what I'm like. You know what? It's really none of your business anyways. Yeah, exactly. But I'm like inquiring.
But you're a mom. he's a dad too, but you're allowed to ask. You're allowed to ask. But do you have any, really quickly, because we're way over, but again, do you have anything to say about PTSD? Did you deal with PTSD in your previous life? Because that's what we're going to talk about today. And
I would say that I have never been clinically diagnosed with it, but I have looked it up. And yes, I would say very much so that at times I've had pretty much every symptom that was on the Google list. And I find myself like struggling at different moments. And actually, when you said, was this a good Mother's Day? It was, it was not a great Mother's Day for me. It was, but it wasn't, because sometimes Mother's Day is hard for me because I've always wanted my own child. Not to say that like I love my stepson and things like that, but not to have my own sometimes is hard. And I struggled with that this weekend.
Okay. I thought you did have your own child.
No.
Oh, great. Now I'm the one that's going to make you cry. It's okay. Bring it out. No,
I'm good. I dealt with it. I dealt with it all. I dealt with it all this weekend. Like I was like everything that could possibly come up. Reggie yesterday says, well, how do you know that you're in for the next transition in life or promotion? How do you know God's going to promote you? I'm like, because there's so much resistance. And for the last 2 weeks, there was so much resistance. And for 4 days, the last solid 4 days, I've been doing nothing but journaling and just really digging through the crap that was still there. So God's promoting me to the next level for sure.
I should love when that happened. You're just like, I was talking to somebody, the DJ wanted me to talk with. Oh my God, we became really good friends. She's like, can we be best friends, not best friends? Can we be really good friends but not really good friends? I'm like, okay. Do you want to call me but not call me? I'm like, sure, you can call me but not call me. That's fine. But it's so funny how you meet people this way. And she actually made me cry. And we were just on a Zoom call. She's like, have you ever thought of it this way? Have you ever thought of it that way? I'm like, okay, maybe not. But seriously, I mean, I'm sure on these shows that you've been on, things are probably stirred up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and the thing of it is, like, I think every show that I do, because since December 8th, I was on my very first podcast ever. And it happened to be, I met an amazing couple off Facebook, Anne and Anne-Marie and Mark McAllister. And I was on their podcast. I forget what it's called, something about unleashing your limits or something like that. And which happened to be the first, when I found out my dad's cancer had come back. So I just found that out, and then I had to go on her show. She goes, do you want to reschedule? I said, absolutely not, because, an overcomer just goes with it. Right. So it's funny because, and each time I share my story, more and more comes out, and it's every time I share it, it's different on everybody's show. So I have been on, I should have kept track of how many podcasts I've done before I even started on the LinkedIn Lives.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I have all the information around here somewhere. I just got to put it together. But who has time for that? Because I work full time, and then I have my show, and then I'm putting together a coaching program, and Don't you have a full-time job though too? Yeah.
And that too. Yeah.
That too.
So I didn't even have a full-time job. This is kind of becoming my full-time job. Just trying to keep everything straight and getting my appointments and things like that too. But it keeps me busy. That's for sure. It just keeps my mind kind of flowing too. But I'm really glad that you're going to have Reggie on. I reached out to him on LinkedIn because I saw him on Russ John's show, and I thought, he's quite interesting. I'm like, hey, and I sent him a message while he's on with Russ. He wrote me back. He's like, hey, we can talk. Let's just set up a Zoom. And I'm like, okay. No idea what I was getting myself into. He's like, okay, you should probably think about this and that. And I'm like, all right, I'll get back to you. And then I watched that New Year's Eve special thing. Not special, but the vision board. By the way, I have a vision board over here. Well, like over in the corner. Completely blank. It's been blank for 2 years. Every time I look at it, that's when something else comes up. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so since you brought it up,
Yeah.
I did one. Okay, so I did front and back.
Right.
So, you know, I don't have the house I want yet, but I do have a house. So that came true.
Right.
On the bottom corner, it was a new vehicle. So I got the new vehicle, but that one fell off. I did get married, but we need to go on our cruise.
Huh?
I don't have that body yet, but I will have it. But look at this on the back. Oprah.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Brave New You. It's going to happen. And also wanted to be on Inc. magazine for the top 10, to be one of the top 10 bosses in the world. So it all will happen.
It's all going to happen. It's all going to happen.
Know? But I mean, some of this has already come true. I should update it, but you know.
Well, I have one in the garage right now that when I had the cat, Indica as a cat, he was a terrorist. I had to give him back to the breeder because I was like, he's too big for me. He's going to be a 25-pound cat. And I didn't even know that that type of cat would get that big. And I'm like, jumping on my walker, it just wasn't safe for me, right? Anyway, he tore off most of the pictures, but it was all cannabis related. And the big cards that I put on there for people that I wanted to meet, I met them within like 24 hours. It was weird. Met them, or I introduced them to people and I didn't really know them. It was strange. But yeah, it happens. That's why maybe I'm being chicken and not putting anything on there.
I challenge you that by next week you get something on that vision board.
It's going to happen.
Can I challenge you?
Absolutely.
Okay, I challenge you. And I want to see it.
I might put a piece of bacon on there. No, I'm just kidding. But what's really going to be a big deal is if I can actually stand and cook. So maybe I should start putting recipes on there or meals on there that I'm going to cook. Yeah. So that's a big thing for me right now. That's why I always say when we have to do Mufasa's like dance thing, everything on Saturdays, that's where they're like, hey, Jenny, you're going to do the stretch with us. Right. I was like doing the stretch with them. And again, I just did IPT and I'm exhausted. So I told them that. They're like, that's so great. I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, but yeah, I mean, you just have to put it out there. You just say it, just say it. But you keep saying I would meet Oprah. You'll meet Oprah. You will.
Oh, I will. I keep saying it on every show. So eventually one of her assistants is going to see my show. And then I'm going to be on her show. Is what's going to happen. And then maybe we'll have our own network, own Odell network. Hey, I like the sound of that.
Oh, but I just saw something. I can't remember. Maybe it was Jimmy Kimmel or something. No, it was Jimmy Kimmel. This is the other guy. Late night show where they actually called Oprah and said, oh, we have this great idea for you. And she's like, and what's that? And they're like, the O Hotel. The O Hotel. She's like, and? So they're trying to pitch this to her. No idea what they're talking about because there's like, they came up with it like randomly on the show. They're like, do you really still have her phone number? He's like, I might. And so he called it and went right to voicemail, but it didn't have her voice on it. And then he gets this random call back and he doesn't pick it up. He's like, maybe I should pick it up. So he calls it back. And she's like, who is this? She's like, it's Jimmy, or whoever it was. It wasn't Jimmy Kimmel, but it was somebody like that. Right. And they're like, she's like, what's going on? He's like, we had this really great idea, but we haven't really thought it through that much, but we have. And the guys in the band are like they're freaking out. They're like, oh yeah, it's going to be great. And everybody's going to come from the audience to stay for the first night. He's like, do you know so-and-so? It's a rapper. He just built this hotel, Swanky One in Miami. And she's like, yeah, I know I did. He's like, ours is going to be better. She's like, I know, right? It's kind of cute. Awesome. Sorry, that was a very long story. No, so I'm taking over the random interview. But it's kind of fun, though. Why not? But
exactly.
So the PTSD thing, the reason I asked you that is because I do believe that some people that have autoimmune diseases or have gone through abuse or anything like that, I believe that they do have some post-traumatic issues. And I actually had a Lyme doctor tell me at this huge convention, when I asked a question, he goes, you have post-traumatic Lyme disease syndrome. He goes, because your body doesn't know what to fight. You have so many different things going on. Your body just keeps fighting everything. Did you see what Robert just wrote?
Yay to random interviews. I love that.
I know.
So Robert, when am I going to be on your show? Because he hasn't, well, he asked me, but I didn't see it. He was just randomly put that out. Hey, are you available in 15 minutes? And I didn't get to see that.
He said that with me twice. Right, Robert? It's turned out very random. Very random. Oh no. He just said that Carl just wrote, my connection keeps getting cut out of StreamYard. Jenny, I'm so sorry. Trying to connect. He's still trying to get on. Well, maybe we should just bring him on when he gets on.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. He'll be like, oh, this is a beginning interview for my interview. For your interview. But yeah, he is the nicest gentleman. And he was really funny. I don't know if you ever watched one that he did of me. But he said, it's so great that we have both coasts going on right now. And I go, actually, I'm in Colorado. He goes, you are? Oh my God, I still thought you were in LA. So he goes, that's okay. And he goes, but you have snow? How can you have snow in LA? No, I'm not in LA. He's like, okay. But I go, and he's like, well, what else happened today? And I'm like, I'm glad that you asked, because I just took this cat oil because I was nervous to come on your show. And I didn't mean to take that cat oil. Look at these bottles. They look exactly the same, actually.
Oh, wow.
And there's this. Oh, see, I never do this right. Is that one? Is this one? This one has paws on it. So, you know, it's like the cat oil. But I couldn't see. That's right after I had my eyes. I was like, okay. So that was really bad. I guess he's still can't get on. But yeah.
Carl is an amazing guy. He's the very first LinkedIn Live interview that I did.
Oh, really?
And that's the day that my furnace decided to go. And so I was just, they picked the exact time that you're on a show. And I said, really, you had to pick that time. I said, just tell the guy to come in. Don't bug me because I'm on an interview. And so he walks in the house and then he's asking me questions. And I had to apologize to poor Carl so many times in his audience and he's just like, hey, that's what live show's all about. It's like you're rolling with the punches because, you're the overcomer anyway. Yeah. So it was just, I felt so bad. But yeah.
Like, you know what? We have almost got an hour. And I'm thinking that even though my shows are only half hour, they might have to be an hour.
Yeah.
Do you like having it for an hour?
Mine's an hour, and at 36 minutes, I'm like, oh my gosh, is there anything else to talk about? And then we find something to talk about, and it goes right to the hour. And I always, all three of them went like that, and I'm like, okay, so it must be just like a mid-show rush type thing.
Right now, it's just like, what am I going to do now? And Mark was still here, my caregiver. He's like, well, this should be fun. I'm like, bye-bye. You can go now. I was like pushing him out the door. Yeah. The other thing was, now that it's you, the maintenance people are going to come over and look at my apartment because they come through and redo the ceiling fan, not ceiling fans, but I don't know, where you have to, what those things are that they have to put up to get the dirty air out and stuff. So you're going to do that. You're going to look at my floors. I was like, I told you guys I have a live podcast. They're like, oh, okay. I'm like, no, tomorrow. I won't be here, but tomorrow. So I'm not sure he's going to make it on, but that's okay. But Carl, we missed you. We love you. Oh, now we have two people on. So I'm not exactly sure. It keeps going. You really have a lot of people on yours. We're just going to talk about people right now. You?
Oh, we still have Robert. That's awesome.
It says we have two. I think it's kind of creepy where it says two eyes. Those eyes,
I don't see any on mine, but then
no,
I don't see it since I'm the guest. I don't know.
Yeah. So you can say something funny. Since Robert says we're very randomly something. I know this whole thing's been random, but it's been fun.
It has been. Thank you very much for inviting me.
You're welcome. Thank you. So are you part of the show? Not the show, but you're part of the show. You're part of the class. Next one, you are?
Yes. I've signed up for Tim's advanced class. So can't wait for that because I want to learn how to take what I have and cut it up because I have no idea how to do that stuff. No idea how to take it and, use it for commercials and things like that. And Reggie's last night was like, you really need to take this and you really need to put segments out of this show. And I'm like, buddy, I don't know how to do that. That's why I'm in Tim's class.
Right. Does he do that himself?
Yes. Reggie was self-taught. Like he did all that himself.
Yeah.
And, thank you, Robert. And, as soon as I get, we're supposed to send me that quadrant. So as soon as I get that, if anybody wants it, let me know. And
I was going to ask if you would send that to me. I'm not friends with him on Facebook, but I'm friends with him every place. This is kind of weird. But
I'm friends with Reggie only on LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn and I think YouTube also.
Well, and I have a cell phone number.
Oh, that's right. You know what? Don't give him those random 2:30 in the morning calls.
I would never do that because no. Well, my cell phone's out in the front room anyway, so I'd never have my cell phone in my bedroom. That's just not something that I do. No. And I don't allow my husband's in the bedroom either. I'm like, out.
Don't look at your phone all night.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes when I wake up. That's why I get on those calls so early in the morning. You guys, I thought you were going back to bed, Jenny. I'm like, I can't. I'm up at 5:30 now because of you guys.
I'm up at 4 every morning because I do my meditation and I do my gratitude and I do. Yeah. It's an hour for me to reflect, get my head straight so that I can take on what's coming at me.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should have done that this morning.
It's helped. I've done it for almost a year now, and it has totally helped me.
Yeah. That's great. By the way, let's just get all personal here. So how long have you been married?
Since October 26th of 2019. So a year and a half-ish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you counting the days or the weeks? It's kind of funny. You're like a year and a half.
1.5, somewhere around there.
Like, it's been that long. But I'm glad you guys bought that house. That's great. I mean, you guys have a great backyard. We need to take your videos out there.
It's a pretty big backyard. And it back beside us, there's like a trail. So it's a town trail though. So everybody walks up beside our house. We live on a very busy street. So it's one of those things. Like if you ever read the book, I even just share our story about how we got the house. We looked at, I don't know how many houses and was outbid on at least 13 houses and never put an offer in on a house that after you've had a couple drinks. That's all I can say.
Yes, I was in real estate, you know that, so I'm kind of like, yeah.
I mean, it's a nice house. It needs a lot of work, and we'll get to it. Like we had to put up a brand new fence as soon as within the first month of us being here because it was ready to fall on either on our car or on our son. So,
that's not good.
No.
How old is your son?
He's 9.
He's 9?
Going on 30.
I did not know that. Yes, I thought your son was older.
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, he'll be 10 in September, and he's 9 going on 30. Yeah.
That's kind of how they are. So does he pick up your iPhone or your iPad and fix it when you get frustrated, or your computer?
No. He's on his tablet all the time though, so I'm sure he could fix it if it was something that interested him, he could fix it. If it doesn't interest him, forget it.
Right. Yeah, my sister's son, it was like I think it was 3 or 4. Is 3 or 4? If my sister would get mad at her iPad, he would just be like, give it to me, and he would like fix it. I'm like, oh my God, that's imposter syndrome right there, because you're just sitting here going, I can't even begin to do that at my age. I'd be like, don't want to learn that. Right?
Yeah.
I like something like that. But I think we might have to at some point here. But anyway, so are you guys still having to wear a mask when you go outside to walk and everything, or?
When I'm out walking, no. If I go into a store or whatever, we have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I'm out walking, I'm not putting a mask on.
There are some places in Denver, I think it was by the Capitol, like you had to wear a mask for a while down there. And I'm like, why? Like, why would you have to wear a mask outside?
They make you put one on, like if you're outside Costco.
Right.
And you're in line, they make you put it on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm outside. I'm 6 feet from the next person in front of me, but whatever. Instead of starting an argument, I just put it on.
420 was kind of interesting here because my not caregiver, I made him go to all these dispensaries and I would sit in the car. And so he'd have to wear a mask. And so all these people, all they want is their weed. That's all they want. I want my edibles. I want my weed. Fine, I'll just wear a mask. Like, fine. These guys are all talking to each other. They can't hear each other. Like, then they're asking him, well, how much do you want? Oh, we don't have that. He's like, I cannot believe this. Like, he was standing there forever. They're like, he gets in there. I thought you guys said you have that. No, we don't have that. He comes out. He goes, they still don't have it. Nobody has it. I'm like, okay. So 420 was pretty interesting here. Anyway, Robert is so proud of us. But I think we should bid adieu to everybody because I think they've been wonderful to chat with us.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you. Appreciate you. Robert, Lynn, Tim. Oh, should the Tim dance.
The Tim dance?
Yeah. The people. Oh, I'm trying to do it with you. How do we? This way? Right, this way. I'm going to try to do it your way. I was trying to do it.
Oh, that is hilarious.
You can do this way too. Right? Yeah, when you have Abby on, if you ever have Abby on.
The happy hour.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't know, have you met Marianne?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
She'd be great for you to have on too. She's wonderful.
Yes.
So
actually, right now I'm booked up to almost the end of July. So
me too. Me too. I was like, okay, because I'm bringing in a lot of people with these autoimmune diseases, so I'm kind of outside of the typical crew of people. Mm-hmm. So some of them are a little tough, but I can do it and not cry. I can do it and not cry because you have to remember you always have to separate yourself from the Tim Dance happy hour. Okay, Tim.
We should do that. Yeah. I dare you to do that on the Voice Your Vibe Wednesday show tomorrow, since it's a celebration anyways.
Yeah.
Do the happy birthday Tim dance to Brian.
Do this too. Yeah, we should. So exactly what time is that again, Tim?
I was told 2 to 6 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. I was telling him that unfortunately I think I'm going to be at the doctor's.
I will be at, I can't get StreamYard to work on my cell phone because it's too old. So I will be driving home. So if I make it in time, I will hop on. But
I'm going to be like, Tim, I'm going to do it at the doctor's office. They'll be like, you can't see. Like, how can you be on the phone right now? I'll be like, oh, I can be on the phone anytime, anywhere. So I think we should. He just said just kidding. Coming soon.
He just said just kidding for the Tim Dance.
I know, Tim Dance happy hour.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
I think so too. Drinks are on Tim.
Tim, what's up with that? Like we have to like get a bottle of champagne somehow.
Yeah.
To his place. I don't know his mother, but I'm sure Tim does. And Nancy does. So maybe his mother could get a bottle of champagne. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Champagne's very yummy. I had it on my honeymoon. Mm-hmm. He'll bring the coffee.
I'm not even going to answer that. I don't even know if I'm going to post that. Now I know. Do not even know if I'm going to post that. All right. So, but I do love you, Tim. And thank you for bringing Deborah on. So thank you for coming on. I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. And we will definitely do this again.
For sure.
Hopefully not last minute. That was fun too. That's fun too.
Sometimes you just got to roll with it. Crap happens.
Well, you had a couple of those happen to you, last week?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love that eyebrows are like, Those are great though. I watched them. You would never know. You would never know that was last minute. Anyway.
Oh, Annie came on at last minute. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah. I didn't know she was coming on, and I got a text message from Mike. Hey, can I bring Annie? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
So at the last minute, I'm adding Annie to everything.
I know. I thought, because there was twice though. You had one with Jen and Sarah, right?
Oh yes, I was on Jen Zahari's show last minute as well. Yeah, it was like one where you're 10 minutes to 7 my time, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" I'm like, "Watching your show." She goes, "Would you like to be part of it?" And I'm like, my hair was in a ponytail, and I'm like, sure.
It's fine. I've done that too. It's totally fine. Yeah. Anyway, I keep saying goodbye. But I'm going to say goodbye. Bye, guys and gals.
Bye, Jenny.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.